Hello beautiful people, it's Trina. Welcome back to my channel. If you're subscribed here, then you know a large proportion of my shopping is done through thrifting. There are so many good reasons to thrift, and 1 or 2 years ago I made a video about my top ones, which I'll post up here somewhere and down below. My favorite source for thrifting here in Japan is bar none Mercari or Mercari or however you want to pronounce it. It's an app. It works on the computer too, and I think it's not the only peer-to-peer app anymore in Japan, but I think it is still the most popular. And because Japan has such a large population of bag-loving people, it's particularly fantastic for me. I rarely get clothes and shoes. Well, shoes for men is okay, but not for women, because the typical Japanese woman is my size when I was about 9. And honestly, I'm not exaggerating. But what I do get is everything from furniture to sports equipment to food to electronics. Why pay full price for more landfill when you can support the circular economy? Anyway, bags and frags are really my jam, and looking for those things on the Mercari platform is in itself a fun activity. And when I'm having fun doing so, there are several things I look for. Obviously, I need to know if I really want the item, and I will use it. Now, knowing whether you want something or not is fairly easy to assess, but when it comes to handbags, knowing in advance whether you will use them or not is a little more difficult to determine, as many of you handbag lovers well know. It shouldn't be, I know, but for most of us, I think it is. Over time, we get to know ourselves better for the most part, but it can still be tricky. Now, for fragrances, it's a little trickier because I may be blind buying, which means purchasing a fragrance I've never smelled before. I've had to do research in such cases before buying, and I do make mistakes. But basically, when I'm shopping on this platform, I look for 2 main things. One is good condition, ideally almost new or unused, or B, a very low price, ideally as low as 10% of retail. Now, most of the items I'm sharing with you today were priced insanely low, but in most cases there was an obvious reason. What are the general reasons people sell stuff so cheap anyway? Well, I'm sure you know, it's out of fashion, fallen into disuse, and luckily Japanese homes tend to be very small, so things get put on the market more often, I think. There's less hoarding because there's no room to hoard. And sometimes items may be damaged in some way, and but not irreparable, otherwise I wouldn't purchase them. They might be desperate for money, or they might be moving house or need to declutter due to some other lifestyle change. So, you know, there's lots of reasons why people sell things. The items I buy are rarely both new and uber cheap. However, when it comes to bags, I like to refurbish them, and I don't mind if they're out of fashion from a decade or more earlier. I like style, but I don't give a rat's patootie about fashion and trends. And when it comes to fragrance, it's pretty much the same, and for the most part, I am more concerned about the smell than the packaging. Now, fragrance does bring a different type of risk though, and that's buying fragrance that has gone off. In fact, it's happened to me several times, and I'll talk about some of my misses perhaps in an upcoming video. Okay, now let's get right to the meat of the video, and I'll share with you the best deals I've gotten on Mercari to date with regard to bags, and later on frags. I'll time post everything down below. I can't remember all the exact prices, but I'll estimate, and I'll give the prices in Japanese yen because I don't know what your currency is, and the last time I checked my YouTube stats, half of you were outside the US anyway, so, and I'm too lazy to translate numbers. For the items I've done dedicated videos on, I'll provide links in the description box below. Okay, so first is this noisy, this 90s vintage Prada Nylon bag that I completely hacked. And as a result of doing so, it's still one of my most used bags. So it came with this plastic resin chain, and basically there was a crack in it, so I took it apart and I had attached this long strap here. It's actually a little too long, but I don't mind. This has the perfect capacity. It looks great crossbody. Adore this. It's lightweight, weatherproof, holds a lot, but it's not bulky. It still looks very edgy and still modern with those giant plastic links. And I paid 4,000 yen, more or less, for this bag, and a little to my leather worker to have it fixed. And it is a vintage item, but you know, I think there's a lot of similar stuff from Prada these days, so I don't feel particularly out of date with this. Next is this Celine bag, which cost me 3,000 yen, but it did not come with the strap. That's why it was cheap. I had my leather worker affix new D-rings to it so I could clash brands and put on this Chloe strap I have from another bag that I don't use this with because it's too short, but it's perfect for this bag because this is very long, so it's still, like, the straps finish early. Well, how can I say it? The straps don't go very long on my body, but because this bag is long, it still looks good. Actually, this did come loose here. It's partially glued here, so I bought some Gorilla Glue and made it affixed a little more strongly. And I also put an extra hole here so that I could carry less stuff in it and it not be so, I don't know, like flopping around. It turned out to be cheaper than had I gone to my leather worker, and a lot more fun too. And I did put it all on video for you, but I accidentally deleted the footage. Oops. And here is a suede PS1 pouch from Proenza Schouler. I paid 15,000 yen for this, which I think is about still 10% of the current retail price, maybe a tad more. They still sell these items, maybe a little bit different. I don't think the new ones have the secondary pouch, I'm not sure. And the reason I got such a good deal on this was because a couple of the rivets here on the side were missing, but I replaced them. I had them replaced, I should say, and now it's as good as new. I really love this bag. I have actually put it up for sale a couple of times and then taken it down. It's just such a good bag, but it's suede, and yeah, suede is problematic sometimes. I can't sell it. Okay, my third bag is this one from Chloe, which I presented to you recently, not long after I got out of my stay in hospital with COVID. And by the way, I am doing well. I had both vaccine stabs of the Pfizer, followed by a day of fever each time. And I still have long COVID though. The worst is chronic fatigue and shortness of breath, but it's gradually getting better, I think. And my fingers are crossed that A, it will fade, and B, I don't become a breakthrough case because, yeah, Japan's not looking good these days. Anyway, this gorgeous thing here I got for a steal, just a few thousand yen. But as I had suspected, it's indeed heavy. I haven't worn it yet. I'm waiting for more of a cooler season for this. We'll see how much I use it this coming fall and winter, and if I enjoy using it as much as I like looking at it. Great deal. And now for Louis Vuitton. I paid good prices on all my Louis Vuitton items, but these three in particular were really good. And first is my Speedy 30, a bag more than half my age, and I'm no spring chicken. The vachetta part was very tattered and stained when I got it, but I fixed that up with black dye and it's just fine now. Really practical bag. And there's a tiny tear in the canvas somewhere up here, like right here, but it hasn't gotten any worse. Sadly, the pull tab has gone, and it's been through a few iterations. I don't like this that much. It's kind of a bit stiff. I've recently purchased a new one online, and when that comes, I'll share with you what it looks like. But yeah, this is a great classic bag to have in your collection. I think it was between 15,000 and 20,000 yen. And now that luxury brands like Chanel and Louis Vuitton have really raised their prices, I find that's reflected in the second-hand market too, so I don't think I could get this bag for that price anymore. A second bag from Vuitton is my Reade mini tote in patent leather. I paid an unbelievable 3,000, or was it 3,500 yen for this. Of all the bags I've mentioned so far, all of them have had problems, but this one basically doesn't. It only has some staining here, and the leather is dry, and it also has a stain here and maybe a little bit of a crack. Yes, it does. Other than that, like, it's really in good condition. The price is just insane. When considering the condition of this bag, especially, this is bar none the best deal of all the items. Yeah, the original price of this when it was sold retail, 30 times more expensive. I've only used this a few times and I don't really like the yellow, and I'm not a fan of vachetta, so I'm thinking of dyeing this black. I think I've told you that before, but I'm kind of afraid of botching it up. We'll see, I haven't decided yet. I'm thinking about ways to make it possible to attach a strap to this bag as well, so that I'd be able to use it once dyeing it as well. Like the stab bag, which I get so much use of since buying it. See how the straps go on the inside here? I'd like to have the same sort of thing done with this bag. Maybe attach something in here. Of course, that'd make the bag completely unsellable, but I guess if I dye it, that's what's going to happen anyway. But I think if I made this bag more like this bag in terms of usability, I would definitely use it. Black and with a strap, oh yeah. And this bag surprisingly fits quite a bit, so it's cute, and I got it for such a good buy. Okay, what's next? I cannot forget my Louis Vuitton Houston bag. It's now in Canada with my mom, who's making hopefully good use of it, so I can't show it to you live. But the Houston bag, I'll link it up somewhere here. It's basically another patent leather tote bag that's just from the same era as this, but a lot more substantial and bigger. And the patent leather on that one was stained throughout when I bought it, but otherwise it was in good condition. And I think I paid around 4,000 yen for that one. So in a sense, that's an even better deal than this one is, except for it was, you know, it was really stained. Last in my category for bags on Mercari, fantastic buys, are from Gianni Chiarini. I keep saying Chiarini, but it's Chiarini, a Florence-based contemporary brand, which is popular here in Japan, it would seem. And a lot of their stuff is great. And this gum bag, I mentioned in the last video too, when I showcased my other bag. I think I paid 3,000 yen for this, a little less than the Reade bag. Apples and oranges, but still this retailed for over 20,000 yen. And so basically that's 15% of retail. So a good deal. And I do use this quite a bit. And the other bag from Gianni Chiarini is this lovely one that I just showed you recently. It's a lightweight Chanel-esque medium large bag that can be worn many ways. And excuse me, I don't love the color. Another potential dye job, but this is the least I have ever paid for any quality bag, new or used. 2 Starbucks lattes and a scone. Nuts. I think in general I do well on Mercari. I'm pretty good at negotiating prices and looking until I get the deal that I want, and I make time for it and I enjoy it. And I think that's part of the reason why I'm able to do it, is because I do enjoy it. So far I got a Prada bag, a Celine bag, a Proenza Schouler bag, 3 Louis Vuitton bags, and 2 Gianni Chiarini bags. Altogether I purchased for 1/10 of the retail price of a new Chanel flat bag. Okay, well, a Chanel bag costs more than my car, but you know, still. Okay, let's move on to fragrances, and I'll limit myself to 5 purchases. First is my Christian Dior Oud Ispahan. Oud is not popular here in Japan. I purchased this for 30% of the retail price, so that's not quite 10%, but it was new when I bought it, and I love this. This is 250 mLs. And it's going to last for years because it is a strong perfume. And I guess I do have to be careful wearing this in Japan. I have to wear it in the winter and probably outdoors because some people might not like it. I love it though. And next is Annick Goutal's old packaging here. This is Ninfeo Mio. This is a really beautiful fig scent. And this was full. This was not full, sorry, when I purchased it, but it's a lot fuller than it is now. I paid about 2,000 yen for this, I think. And next are 4 100 ml bottles, and I only have 2 of them left from Carthusia. One of them broke. It's the best one broke, actually, but I decanted it. And the other one I gifted. So I got 4 100 ml bottles of fragrances from Carthusia. And I think I paid half the price that it would be retail for just the 1 bottle. Some of these are eau de parfum, some are eau de toilette. I didn't realize that when I reviewed these on an earlier video. But anyway, fantastic buy, very pleased with these bottles, pleased with this perfume. 1/8 of the retail price. Whew. Next is this massive 250 ml bottle of Guerlain's Cologne Imperiale. of which Napoleon's wife, Josephine, was a fan. Now, for reasons I know not, I managed to procure this for an insanely good price. I think I paid 2,000 or 3,000 yen, and it was pretty full when I got it. I've decanted most of it because I don't use dabbers. I prefer to spray. But this bottle is stunning, and I don't plan to get rid of it once this is gone. It's an eau de cologne, very lemony, so you need a lot of it and you gotta spray often, so it's not meant to last forever. Next is this bottle of Molecule #1 from Escentric Molecules. Now, it was not full when I bought it, and it's very yellow, so obviously that's why I got it for such a good deal. But so I took a risk when I bought it. I think I paid less than 2,000 yen for this. It was a risk, and the risk paid off because it's yellowed, but the scent is fine. But I have lost by taking risks with the scents before, and as I said, I will get to that in another video. In any case, this is a classic man-made molecule that is very common. It's a very common ingredient in other perfumes, so it's great to have in your collection. Super E. E means good in Japanese, and I made a double pun there. If you know perfumery and you know this scent, you're rolling your eyes in appreciation, I'm sure. Comment below if you got the joke. Okay, those were 5, so I'll stop there. I do have others that I got for goodbye, but the video is gonna get long. So yes, that's it. Those are my top bag and frag buys on the Mercari app so far, and that ends this video. So in addition to showing appreciation for my pun, comment below on where you go online shopping for deals and on bags and frags and any other good stuff. And what are the best peer-to-peer shopping apps where you live, if any? I'm very curious to know. Hope to see you in my next video, everyone. Bag and Frag Hag, signing out. Mwah.